guys, I wanted to share a few tips that I thought of that might help you all if you have to have chemotherapy to help treat breast cancer. And the first thing that I thought might help you is as soon as you find out you have a diagnosis of breast cancer, get an appointment with your dentist. Most of the time you don't hear chemotherapy and dental problems together, but we all know chemo is poison. It causes a lot of problems in your body, but it helps a lot of things too, of course. But it can do a lot of damage to your teeth. So you need to get an appointment with your dentist. Make sure you don't have any gum disease, cavities, tooth decay, anything like that. Your dentist can give you some advice on things that you can do to help your teeth to be as healthy as they can be during chemo, and some fluoride treatments, just mouthwashes, different things, because chemo can make your mouth really dry, and that can cause tooth decay, just different problems with your teeth and your mouth, your gums. So make an appointment with your dentist before as soon as you find out you have a diagnosis. And I know that you have so many appointments going on and phone calls going on and all of that, but please, it will help you so much in the long run if you check in with your dentist, get, tips, information on what you need to do to keep your teeth healthy during chemo and then after. So, that's number one. Number two is for neuropathy. The chemo regimen that you will have can cause neuropathy, you're going to want to make sure your hands and your feet are pretty much frozen during your chemo. And I know that you can get the chemo gloves and the chemo socks. They're for neuropathy, and I looked at some of them, and when I found out that I had to have chemotherapy, the timeline between when I found out I had to have it and the date that I had to have it, I had got online and was looking up neuropathy, or the cold hands and gloves and socks and all that. And the timeline between when I was told I had to have chemo and I had to have chemo, I did not have enough time in between that time to have those shipped to me. So, and they are kind of expensive too. I think the gloves were like $50, and then the socks were about the same price. So we're talking a little over $100 for the socks and the gloves. And already cancer is very expensive, if you don't already know that. So if you can, save money anywhere you can, this is where this kind of comes in. And I will tell you, I did use the gloves for my first chemo. I called the nurse before I had chemo, a few days before, and I told her that I did not have time to have the gloves and the socks ordered and shipped to me before my first chemo. So she said they had extras at the cancer center and that I could use some of those. So that's one thing you may want to check into. You may want to see if you don't have gloves or the socks, you may want to see if they have those at the place you'll be getting your treatment. So what I basically did is, for my first chemo, the first chemo was it took an hour to go through. So you want to make your hands and your feet the right temperature, cold enough to where the chemo will not go through and destroy the tissue in your hands and your feet. You want to be able to have feeling in your hands and your feet. And basically you ice your hands and feet to prevent neuropathy so that you can have, feeling and movement and not have a lot of pain in them later on. So I used the gloves from the cancer center for my first treatment, and I wore them for 20 to 30 minutes before they started the chemo, and then 20 to 30 minutes after that chemo was through. And that's only for the chemo that causes neuropathy. So make sure your doctor will tell you whether yours can cause neuropathy. If it can, be sure and ice your hands and feet. But with the gloves, to be honest with you, so we're talking around 2 hours that you need to have your hands and feet iced. My hands with those gloves, when I put them on, they were frozen. They were so cold. Within 40 minutes, they were warm. So they did not give me the protection that I needed. So what I decided to do is, and I'm thankful I didn't go ahead and buy the gloves and the socks. I'm thankful that they wouldn't have came in time, because they did not help me. You may, find out differently. I don't know. I'm just saying, what happened to me, my experience. So what I did was I bought one of these little tubs like this right here. I got this one at Walmart. You can get these anywhere. You can get them at Dollar Tree, Walmart, Target, anywhere. And what I basically did was, you can bring ice from home. You can stop and get some on your way to the cancer center, or you can ask them if they will give you ice from the cancer center, which is what they did for me. They told me, yeah, we'll fill it up with ice for you. So at the bottom of this, I use this one for my feet. At the bottom of it, I got a gallon-sized freezer bag full of ice and put it on the bottom of it. And then I got some, I think they were quart-sized freezer bags. I'm not really sure. It doesn't matter what size, just as long as you cover your feet, the bottom of your feet, the sides of your feet, the top of your feet, as long as your feet are completely covered in ice. And I did it that way. So I just did this, covered my feet with ice, and the ice was in freezer bags so that my feet did not get wet, but they were still kept really cold. And this, when my treatment was over, trust me, it worked. It kept my feet super cold. And for the hands, I got 2 gallon-sized freezer bags, one for each hand, and I just got some little sandwich bags and filled them with ice and just put them all over my hands and stuck my hand down into the gallon-sized freezer bags, and then I had the ice all over them. So it kept my hands dry, but it kept them super cold. And it was so much better. I mean, of course, it's more uncomfortable, but that's what you want. You want your hands and feet to be really cold. So that's what I did. And another thing is, to get through the almost 2 hours of your hands and feet being frozen, what I did was I watched episodes of a TV show that I like, one of my favorite TV shows. I watched 4 episodes. Basically, I could pretty much recite the lines from the show. I've watched it so much, but it's just a show that is funny to me and relaxing, and it's just something that I could sit and watch it and know, okay, I've got 3 more episodes left, 2 more episodes left, 1 more episode left, and then I can get my hands and feet out of this ice. And that helped me a lot. So if you you don't want to spend that much money on the gloves and the socks, or if you tried that and that doesn't work, this has really worked good for me, just using this little tub with ice in it. And they were really, sorry guys, my leg's falling asleep. They were really nice about filling up the bags with ice for me. But of course you can bring your own, but they said it wasn't a problem, so I just did it that way. The next thing is, hold on just a second, guys. The next thing is, chemo can affect your digestive system in many different ways. It can cause you, nausea. It can cause you have to go to the bathroom a lot or make you constipated. And I know I've talked about this before, but you know, you really don't know how it's going to affect you until you start chemo. Your doctor will most likely give you more than enough nausea medication. They gave me, oh my gosh, I think it was 3 different types of nausea medication. But with the steroids that they give you, the chemo, all that, the constipation was really bad. And I know that might sound like too much information, but you're watching a video about chemo. That's what you're going to get, because that's just the way it is. That's real life. For me, Miralax was the most gentle thing that I could use. I tried other things, and I just found out Miralax was the most gentle on me, and it helped me the most. So before you start chemo, if you can get Modium and some Miralax and just have it, and then as you take chemo, you'll see which way your body is going to react. You will have that to fall back on, so it doesn't get to a point where it's really, really painful. So just remember, just kind of have that on hand. The next thing is drink water. Drink water, drink water. You want to drink as much water as you can, especially the day that you have your chemo treatment. And if you don't like water, I know there's a lot of people that don't like it. If you don't like water, get the little packets that you can put in water bottles, and drink those, because it's so important to flush all that chemo out of your system. And also keep your mouth wet. With the water, it's really good because it keeps, you know, that's good for the health of your teeth, to keep them wet, because you have the dry mouth with chemo, and then that can cause, you know, infections in your teeth and gum disease and all that. So water just all around helps flush it out. It helps your teeth. It helps everything. So drink as much water as you can, and disinfectant wipes, Lysol spray, all that, because if you have to share a restroom with somebody else, you know, they will tell you if you use the restroom, especially if you're drinking a lot of water, you're going to be going to the bathroom a lot, and you have to put the toilet seat down, and you have to flush the toilet twice after you use the bathroom. And if you're sharing a bathroom with somebody else, I would just wipe down the toilet seat afterwards, because you really don't want that going into anybody else's system, even just like a little drop. You know, they sit on it, it gets on them or whatever. You don't want that to go into their system. So just be as careful as you can with that. And also the disinfectant wipes are good for you, because if you can, you know, go over your doorknobs, your cell phone, your remote, your refrigerator door, your faucets, whatever, just to keep yourself healthy while your immune system is more compromised. It's just a better ideal to, you know, protect yourself and the people that you live with. The next thing is, if you know you have to have chemo and you know that you will want to wear a wig, I would go to a wig store and try on wigs before I actually lost my hair. I think that that is a lot easier, because you're going to be able to, if you want one that kind of matches your hair that you had, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of get that look, and for the people that work there to be able to help you to find the look of the hair that you had that you still want to your wig to kind of look like. So do that as soon as you find out you have to have chemo. I would do that. I would go if you want to. If you don't want to wear a wig, you know, you do whatever you feel is most comfortable to you. But I would get that while I still had my hair, because it will help you to get something that feels more natural, more like your hair, and not make you waste your money on something and then end up regretting it, because they can be pretty expensive. The next thing is I know I've talked to you all about the pain with chemo, and especially the Neulasta. I was never talked to by my doctor about pain medication, and until I went for my checkup after I had my first chemo, they wanted to know, what my side effects were, how I was feeling, and all that. And when I told them how horrible the Neulasta was, the doctor said they were going to write me a prescription for a medication that's kind of like a muscle relaxer, and that did not help me at all. The pain was really bad with that Neulasta. But I had another doctor that, when I told them that didn't help me, they wrote me a different prescription for pain, and it helped me. So the next time around when I had chemo and then the Neulasta went off in my arm, I knew, okay, I need to go ahead and take that pill so that I'm ahead of the pain. I still had pain from it. It still was rough to get through, but it made it easier than my first go around with chemo, because that pain medicine did help me. And now this next thing I kind of want to tell you about is, I know it's a touchy subject and everybody has their viewpoint on it, but I'm talking to you as somebody who has been through chemo and through cancer, and I'm just trying to help you in any way I can with all the side effects and things that come with it. I know of several women that have said they would not have made it through their cancer treatment if they had not taken CBD gummies and or just the real stuff. So basically, with chemo, of course, the pain is horrible. Some people have no appetite. They're not even able to drink. You get dehydrated. So, and the anxiety, it causes a lot of anxiety. So if you feel like that would help you, talk to your doctor about it. They deal with so many people that have cancer and have so many bad side effects. It's not going to make you look like a bad person. It's not going to, just don't even think about that. You're trying to fight off something in your body, and you're trying to take care of yourself. So, I know there's a lot of people, trust me, I know there's a lot of people that would, probably give you the side eye or think, ugh, look down on you for taking that. No, you do what you have to do to get through this treatment, because it can be rough, and I understand that. And the way I see it is, if I'm in a lot of pain, I'm going to want to do anything I can to get some relief from that pain. And if somebody that I love is in a lot of pain, I want to do, and I would want them to do whatever they needed to do to get some relief from the pain. And if, a CBD gummy or the real stuff, whatever would help them to get some relief, then that's what I would want for them. And you should want the same for yourself. So talk to your doctor about it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Whatever. Talk to them about it. You can also join different groups, because there's a lot of different groups with social media that people share what works for them, what helps them, and it might give you some ideas of what might help you with the pain and the other side effects that go along with it. Trying to think if there was anything else. Oh yeah, the last thing, because I really want to make this video short. The last thing is, when I had chemo, the night before chemo, I didn't sleep any. Every time I had chemo, except the last time. And that's because I took some sleeping medication. And it's really hard to be up all night long, then go get chemo, and it's all the steroids that were in my system that kept me up. Because I remember I told the nurse I didn't sleep any, and she's like, baby, it's because you had all those steroids in your system. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, so maybe you can talk to your doctor. If it affects you the same way, if you don't get any sleep, talk to your doctor and say, I didn't sleep any. I know it's the steroids. Is there anything that I can take? And I have found that my doctors want to do whatever they can to make you comfortable and to help you to get through your treatment as comfortably as possible. So any issues you have, any concerns you have, talk to your doctor about them, and don't be embarrassed. And hopefully you have other people you can talk to about them, and maybe they can give you some input or some advice and things that helped them. I usually take melatonin if I can't sleep. Melatonin did not help me at all, but I did take a medication and I slept like a baby that last treatment that I had. So just check with your doctor if you're having those problems with the steroids keeping you up. I think that's pretty much it, but that's all I can think of right now. Also, get a soft bristle toothbrush for your teeth, because you don't want the bleeding and all that. It can really do a number on your teeth. Please get an appointment with your dentist. Very, very important. I think that's all. I think that's all I can think of right now. If I can think of anything else, I'll try to make another video. I love you all. I know this is very hard. I know it's stressful. I know it can make you feel like you're going to lose your mind, but you can get through this. You can do it. You have a lot of people that care about you. And a lot of times it's people you don't even know. I care about you. I hope you don't have any of these bad side effects. I hope it goes through fast for you and everything works out good. And you get better. And I love you. Jesus loves you, and I will try to make another video soon whenever I just feel like something I need to share with you guys that I think might help you all. But I love you all. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself, and you can do this. I love you guys. Bye.